Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next question comes from CF. Do I look a bit washed out? Maybe I need to reduce that light. I'll try that on the next one. In response to the Roland S50 update and the arrival of the Juno X, a video I did in May 2022. He writes, "Hi, did you do something with your R8?" I've had several questions about the R8. Basically, I was kind of waiting until I fixed the display until I really brought the unit into the studio workflow. I've used it a few times, if I'm honest, but I've kind of held off until I solved the display issues. Sadly, at the point of writing this, I hadn't, but I have now got a display to drop into the R8. The problem with the R8 display, as I said several times actually on responses and videos, is the fact that it's a custom display made by Samsung, and no one is making a display that is anywhere close to being an aftermarket fit to this particular unit. So the answer is I haven't really done an awful lot with the R8 until I get that display issue sorted out. Next comment or question comes from MIDI Moog. And this is in response to Oberheim apology and Anderson gets a UBXA. A rant I did in May 2022. And MIDI Moog writes, "I wonder how they decided the price of £4,800. Both Sequential and Tom Oberheim need to be paid a premium. The parts shortage is expected to limit the number of units being shipped, to position the OBXA as a premium flagship product to make room for lower priced products such as the OB6. Paying respect to the original price, the OBX in 1980, not to damage the second-hand price of the OBX, the OBXA or the OB8. Well, whichever case, the OBXA is overpriced for me. I'm waiting for the UBXA. Cheers." Some interesting points. Now, we've always expected sequential products to carry a premium. Let's be honest. I mean, that's kind of what they've done all the way through. But that level of premium, it is debatable. In the current market, I'm struggling with the premium that has been attached to the Oberheim OBX8. I have to be honest. There is another comment that I'm releasing this morning, and I'm currently on EST, or when I wrote this, so it's afternoon UTC, which basically says I've missed the point of the video completely relating to the cost of the Oberheim instrument. I think some of your comments you've made do have some bearing on the price of the instrument. I have to be honest. I mean, there is some legacy there, there is some premium there, there is some potentially price protection there. But we know openly that Behringer have said that a number of releases have been delayed due to parts shortages. Brad Eiler Instruments has suspended production of the S2400 at the point of writing this reply because he can't get parts through his supply chain. Inflation is a good point. When I'm recording this, inflation is running at 10%. When I was writing this, inflation was running a little bit lower. But there wasn't that much inflation to justify that much price point in my view. That's an inflation factor that Oberheim have applied to their product of 37% over the flagship sequential instrument. Now, is the Oberheim X8 better than sequential, whatever it is at the time? And I can't remember now. It's really embarrassing. I don't know the answer to that one. Someone else stated that because I have not owned an Oberheim or a sequential product, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll let you guys decide whether I know what I'm talking about or not. As always, these opinions are the opinions of the person who wrote the comment and my opinion in responding. So you have to make your own judgment on that. Do I know what I'm talking about? Well, as much as I would love to buy an Oberheim X8, I personally, like MIDI Moog, cannot, or MIDI Moog should I be more precise, cannot justify spending £4,800 on one instrument. Now, if I was earning my living gigging, recording, and I had to have the sounds that the Obi X8 had, maybe I could justify spending that sort of cash on one of these instruments. At the end of the day, if you think about it, going back, people justified spending £200,000 on a Fairlight, $500,000 on a synclavier, $50,000 on an emulator. Right? People justified those back in the day because you needed that technology to be able to keep up with where the industry was going. But if you're like me, a hobbyist, a musician that may play a gig every now and then, you don't need necessarily that sort of power. And that's probably where the turning point is on this particular instrument. It's going to be used by professional musicians who earn their living by having the latest technology for artists to use within their live performance, within their recording performance. That's the kind of area that this instrument will definitely kick into. But having said that, with the other instruments and the technology that's currently on the market with, the big workstations, the Montages, the Phantoms, the Kronos Nautiluses, whatever, you can probably generate a lot of this sound using one of those. Maybe it's not exactly spot on, and the aficionados would probably scream at me. But I have to be honest and say, those workstations can probably do most of what these keyboards can do. The difference is these keyboards are convenient. The sound is there, it's dialed in, you press a button, away you go.